Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
For your new roof, we'll give you the hands-down best lifetime workmanship warranty in the industry. You can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Just a few clicks before 10 o'clock, and it's 34 degrees and sunny in downtown Milwaukee, on our way to a high of 48 near the lake, 52 inland. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts. Decision Wisconsin, Election Day rolling on for many in the Badger State. Voters heading to the polls for the spring primaries. Key races today include mayoral primaries in both Milwaukee and Kenosha, as well as a $91 million high school referendum in the Waterford Union School District in Racine and far southeast Waukesha County. Several school boards also hosting primary elections for open seats, including in Hartford's Joint 1.
5 candidates are running, with one incumbent, Board Vice President Ed Banke, in the race today. The 4 other candidates are Ian Gronbeck, Trista Johannes, Barbara Lindert, and Terrence Perfect. The school district does not include Hartford Union High School, but does have 3 other schools in Hartford. That's Lincoln Elementary, Rossman Elementary, and Central Middle. After the primary, the top 4 vote-getters district-wide will go on to the general election on April 2nd. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Polls are open now until 8 p.m. this evening. For a complete guide on what's on the ballot, you can view our WTMJ Spring Primary Guide at WTMJ.com. The Village Board in Menominee Falls has voted to block the development of a women's rehabilitation home, citing concerns over preserving the residential nature of the neighborhood. TMJ4 News' Mary McCarr.
Jennifer Harper, a program coordinator with Teen Challenge, says the space will allow them to offer gardening and landscaping as part of recovery to the 15 women who would live in the home.
So people who come, they're ready for change.
A sign on the street urging the Village Board to vote no on rezoning. That links to a website asking for the same thing. Other neighbors on the block, like Christine Lodel, welcoming the addition.
Everybody should be allowed to have a second chance, so I don't feel that it is at all a threat to this community or to our neighborhood.
This is the second time the organization has come to the Village Board with the proposal. A proposed bill would require breathalyzers in vehicles driven by people with OWIs in Wisconsin. State Senator Chris Larson is the bill's main author, telling WTMJ he feels impaired driving has become normalized in the state.
We know this works, and this is not the usual let's punish people until they do the right thing. This is putting actual change in the culture. Anybody who gets in that car over the next year, if they're a passenger or if they're on a date or if they're part of a carpool, is going to ask questions.
Senator Larson says the devices would include an identity verification method and multiple checks while operating the vehicle. A major shakeup in the world of credit cards. Capital One says it will buy Discover for over $35 billion.
Illinois-based Discover joining Virginia-based Capital One would bring together 2 of the nation's biggest lenders and credit card issuers. With its purchase of Discover, Capital One is betting that Americans will continue to increasingly use their credit cards and keep balances on those accounts to collect interest. The 2 lenders have had to boost their reserves against the possibility of rising borrower defaults, and that has weighed on their profits. It's unclear whether the deal will pass regulatory scrutiny. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News, Chicago.
In Washington, the White House keeping up criticism of House Republicans for not approving new funding for the war in Ukraine.
The White House says Speaker Mike Johnson and House Republicans must act quickly to pass funding for Ukraine. Communications Director Ben LaBolt, in a statement, criticizes House Republicans for going on recess this week, calling it a, quote, early undeserved vacation. Ukrainian forces have withdrawn from the city of Avdiivka due to manpower and munitions shortages. LaBolt says in his statement that Russia saw its most significant gains in nearly a year because, quote, Congress has failed to pass critically needed support. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
And Bucks Plus launches today, offering fans a new way to experience the team off the court. Chief Sales and Marketing Officer Dustin Godsey tells Wisconsin's Morning News the platform will provide fans with never-before-available access behind the curtain.
We're sort of scratching the surface on this initial release. We want this to be a little bit of something for different pockets of fandom and for us to be able to go out and tell the Bucs stories in a way that maybe the national media and people who don't have the access can't do.
Bucs Plus can be accessed on Bucs.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update was a rough start for the majors today. Modest gains now for the Dow. They're up 2 points to 38,630. Meanwhile, still in the red for the S&P 500, down 25 points to 4,979. And the Nasdaq is off 153 points this hour to 15,622. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com. When will the winning end for the Admirals? Hopefully never. We'll have that plus the roads and your 5-day forecast up next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:05.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With the weather getting colder, our prices get even hotter. And at our showroom, you'll see all the top brands of lighting and ceiling fans, such as Visual Comfort, Monte Carlo, and more. Our new in-store visual technology will allow you to find every light and fan from every major brand, including their price and description. And our prices are always the lowest. I guarantee it. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for Dad and the kids, and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Saturday and is located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
I haven't had anything to eat for days, and being hungry hurts.
Going without oil changes can destroy your engine, but it doesn't compare to the effect of going without food. That's why the Automobile Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee is determined to make sure no one goes to bed hungry. Through the end of February, they'll donate $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 13 years, Adam has donated over $820,000, providing more than 2.4 million meals to people across southeastern Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. And with today's ongoing challenges, the need is greater than ever. So help the hungry while helping your vehicle. Get your oil changed by Adam Dealer Factory Train Techs at a price as low or lower than independent shops. Visit an Adam member dealer near you.
For a list of participating dealers, visit adamm.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update. The Brewers back at it as spring training begins this week in Arizona. Left fielder Christian Yelich tells WTMJ he's excited to see what rookie outfielder Jackson Chourio will bring to the field.
To be a rookie in the big leagues, obviously when you sign a contract like that, there's expectations and everything that come along with that. But at the same time, just let him play.
Chourio has never played in an MLB game, but signed an 8-year, $82 million contract. The Crew's first spring training game is this Saturday against the Padres. Coverage begins at 2 Saturday afternoon here on WTMJ. And the Admirals, winners of 17 straight following their Monday afternoon 4-3 victory against Manitoba. 18 in a row is up for grabs Thursday in Chicago. Checking the roads, your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Right now, we have an incident on 94 North, right at the Lapham Street ramp. 3 right lanes blocked due to a crash there, and crews are actively working on clearing this thing up. We've got backup stretching from the crash site all the way south to Oklahoma Avenue, and it is a slow go through that zone right now, adding a few extra minutes on your drive from Layton Avenue into downtown. Again, not all, 3 right lanes blocked on 94 North near Lapham due to a crash. Also, in and around the Whitewater area in Walworth County, we have a full closure on Highway 12 just southeast of Whitewater at Cox Road. All lanes blocked due to a crash there about 15 minutes ago, so working to clear that up as well. The rest of the system looking okay, no other major incidents or delays.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Social Security benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Unable to work due to health problems? Let Tayback help you get approved for the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, some midday clouds today, otherwise mild and clear, a high of 42 near the lake, 52 degrees inland, partly cloudy and mild tonight with a low of 37. Slight chance for showers on your Wednesday, continued very warm, a high of 55. 50 in clouds in the morning on Thursday with some rain shower possibilities as well. 40 the high and partly cloudy on Friday. Sun returns for Saturday with a high of 40 degrees. Right now in Madison, some filtered clouds and 38 in Green Bay, partly cloudy 38 as well. Waukesha checking in partly sunny and 37. And in Milwaukee, we've got mostly sunny skies and 39 degrees. I'm Adam Roberts, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 10:09.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. It's time for the Upswing on WTMJ, showcasing businesses, entrepreneurs, and community leaders throughout the great state of Wisconsin. Here's your host, Jeff Sherman.
'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
Hello and welcome to the Upswing. It's day 2. It's new. It's exciting. And we're back. I'm Jeff Sherman. Today, we are going to continue our quest to connect community and business with a great guest who's another entrepreneur who's wearing many hats, as often entrepreneurs do. 3 specific hats. He's working on a new sports facility in Greater Milwaukee. He builds and repairs Volkswagen engines, and his family has a strong legacy in Wisconsin. I'm still new to this, but I know enough to kind of tease out what's coming up later in the show. So let's just say that this guest's family legacy can be summed up with one word said 3 times. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. But first, let me talk a little bit about the business of youth sports. Do you have kids? Or do you have kids in your life if you're a parent or you're a grandparent? You know, what does that sports shuffle look like? Nights and weekends are crazy full at the Sherman household, I got to tell you. And we have camps, we have practices, we have games, we have more games. You have those Saturday morning 8 a.m. soccer games, you know, when it's like 29 degrees outside. You know what I'm talking about. And all the fees, right? All the costs. And one estimate I saw when we talk about the youth sports game is that the average family spends more than $800 per year on sports for kids. That's a lot. You have 2 kids, you double it. It's a lot of money. There's a lot of choices you got to make in the sports world. Finding places to practice, it's just never easy. I'd love your thoughts if you want to chime in. The WTMJ talk and text line is 855-616-1620. If you want to chime in on what that youth sports game looks like in your world before we get to our guest. But school districts have a ton of programs. They have limited resources and kids that want to use facilities, right? I know this well. I have 2 kids that play baseball, softball, and used to play soccer. Finding and booking practices is really tough. And while our kids don't play hockey, I know a ton that do, and I feel for you, hockey moms and dads, because that ice time is really, truly precious. I've heard stories, the late practices, the games, those 10:30 at night drops, the puck drops. So you got to be prepared to go and to run at all times in the youth sports game. Speaking of running, I do a lot of running at the Pettit National Ice Center. It's an Olympic training facility with an oval and an ice rink in the middle. It is always seemingly full. Which makes me think, how and where do we need new sports facilities in our area? When these facilities aren't available, and maybe your family doesn't have a fitness club membership, finding places to play can be incredibly tricky. I know there's places like the Milwaukee Yard, Creek, the facility in Mequon. You have big youth sports complexes like the Pewaukee Sports Complex, even places like Heavy Hitters Athletic Facility right here in downtown Milwaukee. So coming up next, we're going to talk about what the owner of a new sports complex is doing to put his stamp on the youth sports facility world right here in Milwaukee. MFC Sports Complex. And our guest is Roy Henning. More after this break. This is The Upswing, and I'm Jeff Sherman.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's promo code GIFT.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money, too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you quality name brand workwear and footwear because we get you. From the farm to the job site to your own backyard, we have great deals on your favorite rugged styles for spring. Right now, earn $50 in Carhartt bucks when you spend $200 on Carhartt gear. Save $5 on assorted styles of men's Dickies Flex Tough Max pants. And all men's DeWalt work boots are on sale, $10 off. We get you what you need because we get you at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Welcome back to The Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. If you want to, and you can, follow me on X, Twitter. I'm at Sherman Jeff. I'll do my best to inspire and to, provide some nice tidbits, especially first thing in the morning, and we'll tease the show every day for you, too. Youth sports is big business. It's a $30 billion industry in the United States, according to the Sports Business Journal. And this is often good and bad because, right, we have to balance the profit and the participation of it all. I served, I think, 2 terms on my village's recreation board, and it really gave me a good insight into community needs. The competition for spaces, the resources needed, rec departments. If you have a rec department in your city, your town, or village, they offer such a variety of sports options, right? Classes, teams, and more. I mean, I just looked through our list in our rec department. Arts and crafts, there's babysitting, there's chess, there's dance, there's education programs above and beyond what the schools are offering each and every day. There's Minecraft, there's Fortnite, there's performing arts and private drama lessons that rec departments offer, science and STEM, theater, writing. All these programs require spaces. And the one thing that I truly noticed is there's an incredible competition for access to facilities. Even in a small village like Shorewood, that's like 13,000 people. So we only have one baseball field, one gym. The high schools needs it. The adults need it. The rec programs need it. Not to mention activities like today. Voting. You got to get out and vote today. Your friendly reminder. But the voting is going to take up time that usually the kids need. But that's way more important. So you got to enter private operators and groups that are here to build new facilities. So the MFC Sports Complex is a new 10,000 square foot indoor practice facility in Glendale, right on the North Shore of Milwaukee. It's going to open up in March, and our next guest will kind of give you the flavor of when that facility is going to open. But it's going to be state-of-art. It's going to feature 25-foot high ceilings, natural light. I had a tour of the space about 2 months ago while it was under construction, as it still is. But it's super cool, really innovative. And I wanted to provide a couple comparisons first before our guest jumps on. So you look around the area, just to give you a little bit of a flavor. Kettle Moraine High School kind of rang out the beginning of the sports year. with a brand new football, track, and tennis court, all right? Building new facilities is never easy, and you have to have the space in the first place, right? You got to have access to the land. You have to have the funding. You have to have the tenants, and then you have to have the sponsorship, right? Sponsorship makes everything go. Roy, our guest, is smiling across the way here. But we talk a lot about sponsorship when it comes to professional sports, but it's truly important at every level. You need the dollars and you need the partners to make things happen. But back to Kettle Moraine a little bit. It was reported that their new stadium, their new football high school stadium, including the track, cost nearly $7.4 million. And the tennis complex alone was another $2.2 million. That according to GM Today. The sports is, not only uniquely positioned to help young people grow and heal and learn, having these new facilities is so important for the mental health and the physical health of our communities. I want to bring on Roy Henning to say hi and introduce what he is doing in the space. But before we do so, I'm going to tease him a little bit. He's wearing 3 hats, which is a true entrepreneur. He's got a hat on today. He has Mofoco. He has this new sports complex. And his family owns Great Lakes Dragway in Union Grove, Wisconsin. All this and more, it's coming up next on The Upswing. We appreciate you being here. We're going to learn more about youth sports, motor engines, and drag racing. What more can you ask for on a beautiful Tuesday here in downtown Milwaukee? This is The Upswing, and I'm Jeff Sherman.
The countdown to opening day is on. Get your tickets for an action-packed 2024 Brewers season now. That's any game you want, any way you want. All season, featuring brand new giveaways, brand new theme nights and community nights. Can't miss ticket deals, and all the season's best Brewers action. Make sure you're here for every moment. Check out the complete schedule and grab your seats now at brewers.com/tickets.
Matt had just moved into his first apartment and needed furniture to fill it, but he didn't have a big credit line. So I told him about St. Vincent de Paul. There's always a nice selection of gently used furniture there, and sometimes you can find some really cool retro pieces. And the best part is, it's always super affordable. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores for first-time furniture buyers or anyone looking for great deals on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
If you love authentic Mexican food, this is for you. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford because it's locally family-owned and it is super affordable and delicious. This is new and it's amazing. Today and every Tuesday, the Mine Shaft presents their all-you-can-eat authentic Mexican buffet for under $10. Seriously, it's all you can eat. It's just $9.99. Wow. It's the best Tuesday dining value anywhere. Your kids and grandkids can safely play in that $2 million game room quietly tucked away from the dining area while you finish up your meal. The Mine Chef's all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet is under $10. Kids under 3 always eat for free. Come early from 2 till 5, Monday through Thursday. Beers, cocktails, and appetizers are half price. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and right off the interstate in Oshkosh. Try the all-you-can-eat Tuesday Mexican buffet today from 11 a.m. for under $10. MineShaftRestaurant.com. Big food. Big fun. It's the Mine Shaft.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason featuring this week's guests, Best Electric and Abby Windows. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
We're back. This is the Upswing, and I'm Jeff Sherman. Please know we're going to continue to evolve and grow this show. Special guests, maybe co-hosts, interesting topics. Today I'm sticking to the entrepreneurial spirit within the great state of Wisconsin. You know, the North Shore of Greater Milwaukee is a bit landlocked when it comes to sports facilities, right? We have a big lake to the east, and there's not a ton of space, but there are a ton of kids. And one entrepreneur has a solution. Roy Henning is our guest. Welcome, Roy. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. So let's talk a little bit first about one of the legacy family businesses, Mofoco, Motors for Competition, 48-year-old Volkswagen facility on the city's near north side.
Yeah, my dad, decided to start Mofoco back in the late 60s, early 70s. He originally was a delivery driver for Smith Brothers Fish Company. And the story I always like to tell is that when they wanted to put him in upper management, they asked him to shave his beard. He said no. They said, okay, fine. He quit and started his own business. So it all started over not wanting to shave his beard, which was pretty funny. But he looked around the east side of Milwaukee and decided, wanted to see what kind of cars he could work on that he'd never run out of work. And obviously in the late 60s, early 70s, the entire country and especially Milwaukee was littered full of Volkswagen buses and Beetles and Gias and things like that. And that's kind of where it was born. And out of one shop on the east side on Garfield, he built another shop and at one point had 5 locations in the mid-'80s.
Wow.
We had a full machine shop. We delivered parts within 6 states. Starting in Milwaukee, and guys would drive all day and deliver parts. This is obviously, in the 80s before there was a lot of, obviously no online anything. And, not a lot of ways to get a part on the same day.
Mm-hmm.
So he imported parts from all over the world, and we were the biggest, import parts distributor in the Midwest. But still, he never forgot about the base, which was the air-cooled Volkswagens. And we've had machine shops. We also build engines. We're the number one manufacturer of 2 different engine parts in the entire world right here in Milwaukee. So that's pretty cool.
So you're located on First and Capitol, kind of just north of Milwaukee and Glendale, but kind of behind that outpost location, right? That gives people context.
Our original building is actually where there's a Napa right now next to Outpost on First and Capitol. My handprint is still in the floor from the concrete when I was 1 year old. It's still my story where it's allegedly my first memory. Maybe they told me the story enough times that it was a planted memory. But we moved about 10 years ago when I bought the business from my dad about 2 blocks north to our machine shop, and I've been kind of rehabbing it into, a more modern building ever since.
Okay. So there's probably millions of Volkswagen Beetles out there in the world. Where are you getting your customer base from? Are people bringing in their vehicles? Are you making engines from scratch? Just talk about the nature of the day-to-day business.
Well, we don't work on cars anymore.
Okay.
It's a little bit rough to work on 50-year-old, 60-year-old cars. You got to have a special person to be able to do that. But we specialize in the manufacturing aspect where people will drive from upwards of 2, 3, 4, 5 states away to drop off their engine. We'll either rebuild that and then they'll come back and pick it up, or they'll call on the phone or order online and we'll build them a brand new engine. And anything from a stock, just, get you down the road to working back engine to people that want to go fast and go to car shows.
Okay. All right. So you build engines from scratch. Is that a skill set, and how did you acquire that?
I built my first engine when I was 12, and the engine lasted 15 minutes. I was very excited to put it in the car, and I dropped a screw inside the engine, and the camshaft broke in half, and that was a mistake I only made once.
Okay.
But that was my first one when I was 12, and I've been building now. I'm 46, so been building for 34 years. I put about 4,000 engines, under my belt. Myself, along with also watching and basically instructing others to build engines as well. I don't build every engine that we have. Right. So it's been a long process, but it's just trial and error. And I've developed my own, knack for how to build the engines. I never really read any other books.
Okay.
I was actually asked to write a book at one point, which I did write, and then I pulled back from the publisher because I realized at the last minute that I didn't want to give away all my secrets. A lot of my stuff has been an acquired thing, and a lot of tradesmen, when you talk to them, you have to pay them $100 or $200 to fix something. It only takes them 5 minutes, and they're like, well, why did that cost so much? Well, it was the 30 years it took me to learn how to, do that.
Right.
To take 5 minutes, not just the 5 minutes it took me to accomplish, the task.
Yeah.
So it's something that I really wanted to keep in-house, until maybe I retire, and then maybe I'll publish my book.
All right. Very good. Yes, experience definitely has its value. That's what it's all about. So, in terms of, so the Volkswagen ended production in what? The Beetle.
The air-cooled Beetle ended
2019?
No, it was before that because it was in Mexico. So it was in, I think, 2003 was the last year that they built the air-cooled Beetle that they were still doing in Mexico. In Germany, it was in the late 70s, 80s.
Okay. So are the majority of your engines for that car, or are you doing things all over the map now?
Yeah, so it's only the air-cooled engine, so no water pumps, no radiators, so it's a little bit different. It's a very versatile engine, and the Volkswagen Beetle is still the #1 production car in the history of the world.
Okay.
I don't think it's ever going to get passed. It passed the Model T back in the day, and there's never going to be another car that's made the same number as the Beetle. But it's Beetles, buses, Gias, things, and then we also build engines for kit cars, for airplane motors, Zamboni ice cleaners, all kinds of different cool stuff. Because it's, like I said, it's one of the more versatile. People even use them for sawmills. So very, very strange uses, but they're light, they're cheap, and it's pretty good.
Okay, very good. All right, so I want to talk about the intersection of engines and sports facilities. We're going to do that coming up after the break. And we'll talk a little bit about, hey, what kind of cars are you driving these days? But coming up next, the Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 10:30, and we have ABC headlines and local headlines coming up next, and more with our guest, Roy Henning from Mofoco, MFC Sports Complex, and Great Lakes Dragaway. This is The Upswing, and I'm Jeff Sherman.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The U.S., as expected, has vetoed an Arab-backed UN resolution demanding an immediate humanitarian ceasefire in Gaza. Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield saying that the United States is instead pushing for a longer ceasefire negotiation that is being talked about now.
Any action this council takes right now should help, not hinder these sensitive and ongoing negotiations. And we believe that the resolution on the table right now would, in fact, negatively impact those negotiations.
South Carolinians go to the polls on Saturday. Nikki Haley still far behind Donald Trump, but she is vowing to stay in the race until at least Super Tuesday on March 5th, when another 20 states will vote. The Alabama Supreme Court has issued a ruling declaring frozen embryos as human beings. The move could drastically change the future of in vitro fertilization in the state, with patients and doctors fearful of lawsuits. This is ABC News.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 10:31. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Decision Wisconsin, Election Day for many in the Badger State today. Voters heading to the polls for the spring primaries. Key races include mayoral primaries in both Milwaukee and Kenosha, and a $91 million high school referendum in the Waterford Union District in Racine County. Polls are open until 8 p.m. this evening. For a complete guide of what's on your ballot, you can visit our WTMJ Spring Primary Guide at WTMJ.com. 2 elementary school students among 3 victims of a homicide in Middleton. Police found the victims at an apartment complex Sunday evening. They say there's no current threat to the public and are not looking for any suspects at this time. And a new concert venue in Milwaukee debuts this evening on the city's east side. Though there is still being work done on finishing touches, Pabst Theater Group's newest venue, Vivarium, is set to have its first performance tonight. Local artist Wave Chappelle will perform a free show for those in attendance. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. All red for the majors still this morning. The Dow had some modest gains about a half hour ago. They're now down 36 points to 38,592. The S&P 500 off 31 to 4,975. And the NASDAQ down 186 points to 15,590. It's a great time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button now. Checking the roads, your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. Some good news on 94 North. That earlier accident that had 3 right lanes blocked at Lapham, that has been cleared up. Those delays stretching down to Oklahoma Avenue now starting to work themselves out. We do still have a highway closure in Walworth County just southeast of Whitewater. At Cox Road, all lanes are blocked on Highway 12 West due to a crash there. That's just southeast of Whitewater. Something to be mindful if that's where you're headed this morning. Your WTMJ forecast for today. plenty of sun throughout southeast Wisconsin. A high in Milwaukee, 48 near the lake, 52 degrees inland today, down to a low of 37 and continued mild overnight tonight. For your Wednesday, continued warm, a high of 55. Could see some afternoon showers on Wednesday, lingering into your Thursday morning with a high around 50, back into the low 40s for your Friday and Saturday. Right now in Milwaukee, mostly sunny skies and 39 degrees. I'm Adam Roberts, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 1034.
This report's sponsored by Mr. Holland's Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit MrHollandsHeatingandAir.com.
Has the relationship with your current furnace gone cold? We've seen it time and time again. At first, you were inseparable. Your furnace was always there for you. When everything outside became frigid and frightful, that humble heater protected you from the elements and prepared a perfectly pleasant environment. But now, years later, you notice a change. The climate has cooled and the once consistent comfort is suddenly sporadic. It just hasn't been the same. The flame has gone out, and your furnace simply isn't carrying its weight in the relationship. Hey, it's not your fault. You've done everything you can. It's time to move on to a brand new, high-efficiency furnace from Mr. Holland's Home Services. You deserve a furnace that's hopelessly devoted to your comfort, and you deserve 24 months interest-free financing with approved credit. Call 866-992-1717 or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. If you're ready to heat things up, we can help.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same. But at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high-commission investment products, right?
No. Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
All right, we're back. This is the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman, here from the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Quickly, just a review of what I hope become the pillars of this show. We're going to showcase businesses. We're going to build connections. We're going to inspire. We're going to promote. And we're going to have some fun. That's what it's all about, right? Back to Roy Henning. Roy is the co-owner of MFC Sports Complex, Mofoco, and another signature Wisconsin company, Great Lakes Dragaway, that we're going to talk about after the next break. So sports is just such an important driver in our lives, right? Especially on the youth level. For mental health, obviously physical health, anything getting the kids out of the house, away from the phones, away from the day-to-day is a good thing. So how do you intersect, Roy? You have this Volkswagen engine manufacturing facility. You have these old warehouses. Where's the vision to create, I need an indoor soccer facility. I need indoor baseball. What's that process look like?
It was a very strange road that I took and that we all took to get where we are today with this facility. My history was I played soccer my whole life. I played in high school. I played
Homestead?
in college. I went to Homestead out in Mequon. So it's a little strange living in Whitefish Bay, now being a Blue Duke instead of a Highlander. But I went to, played in college, took a few years off when I came back. And, then once I had, I got 2 kids and we started getting them into sports and they wanted to play soccer. So then I was the volunteer dad coach.
Oh, yes.
And then I was drafted to be an academy coach as well, which is great. I didn't think I was ever going to go that route. But it ended up being a lot of fun, a lot of work, but a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And then it kind of just accidentally happened that as I was in a meeting with Steve Morris, who is the executive director at Bavarian Soccer Club, he had told me that we lost use of the indoor facility, which they had been using for the last few years. It had been sold to a baseball training company. And as I told him what I did, he said, well, you got enough room to build a soccer field? And I laughed, and we laughed, and it was February, and it was minus 20 last year, and there was a couple feet of snow on the ground, and I looked at my warehouse, and technically, yes, sure I could, but it was going to be a lot of work. So I let that simmer for a couple months, and then during tryouts, I was kind of joking with some of the other dads, the kids on my team, and a couple of the other guys I know in Whitefish Bay, and they said, well, wait a minute, do you actually have enough room for that? And I'm like, well, technically, yes. So a bunch of people came by, and then they all took me out that night and fed me a few drinks and convinced me to build a soccer field.
Nice.
So we kind of just, bounced the idea all over the place and, found some investors and started finding some construction companies and had to change a few times. Then it really morphed into, my wife is on the Whitefish Bay Little League Board of Directors, and there's a huge need for baseball. There's a huge need for indoor soccer. And here, just a strange thing that I didn't know until I started doing this is that during the Women's World Cup, the number one viewing area in the entire country was the Milwaukee area.
Yes.
I could not believe that.
Yeah.
So I knew soccer was
Obviously,
big
the
here.
North Shore is huge for soccer.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And the fact, we've got some really nice facilities around here in Brookfield and Eline, and now the Milwaukee Yard, but they're far. They're not close.
Right.
And when you're going to take your 6 to 12-year-old to go to practice on a Tuesday, you don't want to sit in traffic for 45 minutes each way and then have to sit there for an hour during practice. That's 3.5 hours. It's just not feasible.
Yeah.
So now we're building a soccer facility.
Nice.
And it not only, it had to all fall into place with the city of Glendale. The city of Glendale has been absolutely fantastic. The North Shore Fire Department's been absolutely fantastic on helping me. But it all started and stemmed from, and I wouldn't even be sitting here talking about this, if when my father had this built in the mid to late 80s, he had this building zoned for a mixed use, including a sports facility. Now, how he saw that vision 30 years ago, I have no idea.
He looked into the mind of his son, and he knew that down the road, the soccer player needed a facility for the future youth of the greater Milwaukee area.
So we're not going to have the biggest facility. So what I had to do was I had to go for the most innovative and the most different facility. Most facilities, while they're great, they're 4 concrete walls and a metal roof, and that vibrating light that you can see, and what we want to do is put as much natural light as possible into our facility. So we've got see-through garage doors. We've got, windows all the way around. We've got big glass storefront. We wanted to make it feel like you weren't in a basement playing sports.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're going to get to a break, and we'll come back. We'll talk a little bit about the turf, a little bit about, maybe you can tell us when the opening day will be, break a little news there. And then I want to get to some background on Great Lakes Dragaway. This is The Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman.
Save now during the President's Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. Special factory incentives make this the perfect time to save on a new sofa, chair, or sectional crafted by Norwalk Furniture. With over 850 fabric and leather options and over 100 different styles, you can create the look you want, and in just 35 days, it's ready for delivery. Can't wait? All our inventory is sale priced and ready for immediate delivery. Shop today and save at any of our Ken Michaels Furniture stores in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Make a stop at the Harley-Davidson Museum before heading out to the Mama Tried Motorcycle Show. They'll have food and drink specials from the motor bar and restaurant. Explore their newest exhibit, Mama Tried, bringing it together, and take a free shuttle to the rave for Saturday's show. The HD Factory Outlet Sale in Rumble includes fantastic deals on end of season and discontinued Harley-Davidson motor clothes and merchandise. Don't miss the fun pre-show gatherings. Thursday, February 22nd through Sunday, February 25th at the Harley-Davidson Museum.
Dan, what do you think are the top 3 reasons people buy from us at Inspired Closets?
Katie, that's easy. Our 3D design software, 4 ironclad guarantees, and our lifetime warranty.
Plus, we're honest and transparent in our pricing. We don't over-design. And we're a local family-owned business.
Clients need to know that we are a different closet company. We are designed completely around them.
And we're a wife and husband team.
Visit us at inspiredclosetsmke.com.
When you're due for tire service, visit richlawns.com for the location nearest you.
We'll give you a free flat tire repair on every tire we install. No questions asked. I'm Brett Matchke with Rich Lawns. You're due for service.
Rich Lawns.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money, too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
We're back, WTMJ. This is the Upswing, and I'm Jeff Sherman. You ever wonder how an entrepreneur gets his wings or her wings? Often it's family, right? A new indoor sports training facility will be state-of-the-art, opening in Glendale later next month, 10,000 square feet, all indoors for soccer and baseball, truly fitting for a community need that is long overdue. Another space, another indoor place for kids to play. Our guest is Roy Henning, who is one of the co-founders and owners. I want to have you talk a little bit about the turf on the soccer facility, because there's been a lot of talk with turf in the NFL and on youth fields. How do you make sure that it's safe, and how do you make sure that you're using the best stuff?
Well, that was one of my primary things that I was kind of worried about was who I was going to go with, and so it's a place called Hellas Construction out of Texas. They just did a field for the Bavarian Soccer Club on the stadium field, and this is a different style of turf than you've probably seen anywhere else. In talking with the owner of Hellas Turf, he said that the upper Midwest is their number one untapped region of the country. So it's an interwoven turf. You can kind of look at it online. I've played on all different types of turf and all different kinds of, obviously, and on grass. And on this turf, when you run, your feet you don't feel your leg catch. So it definitely has a lot more give, and it's a lot more padded than the regular turf. So this turf is actually in 14 different NFL stadiums, including AT&T Stadium in Dallas and Las Vegas Raiders Stadium that the Super Bowl is just played on. I like to mention this. It is not in the Meadowlands where Aaron Rodgers got hurt.
Okay. Right.
So that's always a question that I get. But the stuff really is nice. There's a couple other places in Milwaukee that have it in a very limited basis. Actually, the Don Hudson Center has it up in Green Bay. So it's a new thing, and at least for this area, and it's definitely going to, as much as you can, be best for non-injuries.
Okay. All right. Do parents ask that question often as you're signing up tenants and talking to parents?
That is a question that we get. People want to know what's different about this. And like I said, I wanted to differentiate our facility compared to every other facility in the area. So we're going to be the only indoor facility that has this. And it is a question. And and you mentioned other tenants. I mentioned one of our anchor tenants is going to be the Bavarian Soccer Club. The other one is one of my co-owners, Nick Angrel, and he runs a company called Next Gen Performance. He does individual training. And so when talking to other facility owners and other ex-facility owners, I talked to the old owner of Soccer USA, for all of you older people out there, that was in the area before. But we want to try and pack our facility with as many hours as possible, and having 2 anchor tenants, one that's going to take up a lot of time during the winter in Bavarian, and then another one during the summer and can take up some of those other times in Next Gen Performance. We wanted to make sure that we could fill our facility as much as possible.
Okay, very good. Where can people find more information about the facility?
So it's mfcsportscomplex.com. We just have an informational page up at this point. We are just in the stages right now, as we don't have a firm opening date.
Okay.
But we're just in the early stages of signing up people for rental times right now. So if you want to throw your name in the hat here, mfcsports.com, mfcsportscomplex.com, and you can email us through there. We're also looking for sponsors as well. As we started this project in late last year in Q4, most places have their sponsorships already taken care of. So we're looking for field name sponsors and banners and stuff like that.
Very good. All right, awesome. We are going to head to a break. We'll come back. I want you to talk a little bit about Great Lakes Dragaway. We're a couple months away from the opening of the season, but you got some special insight, and we're looking forward to it. This is The Upswing, and I'm Jeff Sherman.
This is WTMJ's Sandy Max with a brand new show called What's on Tap. Weeknights at 6, you're invited to join me to take a deeper dive into culture and creativity here in Wisconsin and around the world. Tap into all kinds of entertainment and recreation with me, from music, theater, film, food, and uniquely Wisconsin traditions and landmarks. So pique your curiosity and join me for What's on Tap. And be sure to catch the podcast on your favorite podcast platform.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Comfort Awnings. You've heard me talk about the wonderful new retractable awning the team at Comfort Awnings installed at my home. Now I can have all the cookouts and get-togethers in my backyard with some extra shade and relaxation for my guests. Comfort Awnings is a local family-owned company in Burlington that provides expert installation in southeast Wisconsin and northern Illinois. Right now, you'll receive a free motor with the purchase of any awning or screen until the end of February. Call 414-AWNINGS for a free estimate or visit comfortawnings.com.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why, through the end of February, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 13 years, Adam has provided more than 2.4 million meals to people in southeastern Wisconsin. And now, the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
Imagine, if you will, a wonderland of vehicles. An entire convention center filled with the things you love to drive. It's the Milwaukee Auto Show at the Baird Center downtown, February 24th through March 3rd. Immerse yourself in the latest new cars and trucks. The Milwaukee Auto Show. For tickets, go to autoshowmilwaukee.com.
Our mission is to protect and uphold our reputation. At Semper Fi, it's the banner we all march under, because the reputation we earn and uphold belongs to all of us. And without a strong reputation in the exterior remodeling business, you're here today and gone tomorrow. And when you've earned a good reputation, that's what makes the difference in value. It's the little extra that you get for the price. And that assurance is actually what counts the most, because it means the good money you're spending with us is not going to go to waste. A roof you can rely on, with a warranty that has a backbone. Craftsman quality airtight window and door installations. Brick and stone masonry that's clean and sharp. And new siding that's been known to stop traffic. And it's all backed by a team that over the last 20 years have put a lot of heart and soul into building a reputation that you can believe in. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
We keep you safe, warm and dry, Semper Fi.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
We're back. This It's Jeff Sherman, and this is the Upswing on WTMJ. Thanks for being here. Truly appreciate it. So, Roy, your family owns Great Lakes Dragaway in Union Grove, Wisconsin. A quarter-mile drag strip. It's in the town of Paris, actually, right? In Kenosha County. The iconic, that word gets overused sometimes, but the commercials. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Give us the background and the flavor there.
It really is iconic in this sense, as Great Lakes Dragway is the oldest continuously running drag strip in the world. So it's never closed for even a year since it opened up, which was in 1955. Some people say 1953, but it's been open ever since. And the way that happened was my dad owned Mofoco, and through running Mofoco, he decided that he wanted to be a race car. He went down there before when he was a kid, but he decided to start racing, and he moved up from motorcycles to Volkswagen Beetles to top alcohol funny cars. So he was the guy going 0 to 260 miles an hour in 6 seconds.
Okay.
And as that evolved, he decided he wanted to buy the racetrack. So him and two other guys got together, and in 1993-94, they bought the racetrack. And in the true entrepreneurial sense, my dad always told me that you can never ask an employee to do something that you're not willing to do yourself. So I was then charged with learning every single job at the racetrack, starting with cleaning the bathrooms, emptying the garbage, working at the food stand, all that kind of stuff like that. And so now my eventual job, I do all the advertising and promotion. And so I've been doing the radio commercials since 1997 saying, Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
So did you get that? Who was the voice before that?
It was actually a radio station, I think WIIL out of Illinois, that coined the phrase Sunday, Sunday, Sunday for Great Lakes Dragaway, which Great Lakes Dragaway is credited in a lot of different publications and movies and things like that with, coming up with that phrase.
Okay. So opening weekend is like April 5th, and then the events go through September, right?
No, we go. So we go
as
soon as the temperature is consistently above 50 degrees, we'll open up.
Okay.
And then we will stay open until the snow flies.
Okay.
So we try and stay open but the main area is up until about Labor Day weekend, and then we kind of tail off. And so the basic concept of the racetrack compared to every other racetrack in this country is my dad wanted to be open more days per year than any other track, and we wanted to push people to get off the street and to go race their cars at the racetrack.
Okay, so is there an ongoing series like a NASCAR that gets booked and it's every weekend people can follow certain drivers?
There's something called the Summit Super Series. There's different events that happen mostly every weekend, but during the week is when you can bring your own car. And so it was $35. It might be $40 now to go in, and you can race your car down the track as many times as you want for the 5-6 hour period that it's open.
Okay, so that's you can just sign up online or show up. And
you show up.
What's the protocols there? Can I bring my 16-year-old? He just got his license.
You can bring anything you want, and my dad always tries to tell people that it's basically like getting on a freeway entrance. So the light turns green, you put your foot down. After a quarter mile, you let your foot off the gas, and you kind of coast to the end.
Okay, wow. I guess I didn't know that. I'm gonna show up. My electric vehicle probably isn't gonna be the best use, but I'm gonna grab one of my dad's cars and make it fun.
It's surprising, and they do something, where they'll stagger the light to where it doesn't matter how fast your car is. So if you make a couple time runs, then you can race somebody, and it's all about your reaction time and how well either you can shift or how well you drive.
All right. Well, I truly appreciate you taking time out of your day. You're a busy man. You're building a sports facility. You're building engines, and you're getting ready for the new season at Great Lakes Dragaway. Roy Henning, thank you very much. Good luck with everything, and we'll see you around town. This is The Upswing on WTMJ, and we'll see you tomorrow.
A new year means new goals for Wisconsin hoops teams. The